flashlight some of the writing has faded. The photo collage depicts barren, icy landscapes wrapped in perpetual night. You see permafrost and glacial landforms, dead trees groaning under the snow. Entire oceans have been frozen from shore to shore. There are pictures of settlements on dried-up riverbeds, abandoned in a storm. Animal corpses in the dark, carcasses and bones. You see primitive oil rigs built into glaciers, boreal dvorg, yurts under the snow, great mammoth-like beasts of burden. A pinned postcard reads, "The heat death scenario. A desperate fight for geothermal energy engulfs the world as Wirral becomes untethered from its sun, drifting through the universe." This is a monthly calendar from the year 50. Cryptic words like sprint, daily minimi, and GPI span the marker-drawn grid, the grand scheme of production and money. Everyone is constantly teetering on the edge of the abyss, an abyss of production. These squares look orderly, but beneath them is chaos, worry, pain. Minimi stands for a mini meeting. It's part of a bigger framework for managing work called RUN. Station 41 tried to implement it a few years ago, but failed. As time goes on, the numbers in the boxes grow rarer and rarer. The board becomes an empty snowfield in the final days. Only failure and regret dwell in this region.
Looks like they didn't make it.
A note in the bottom left corner of the chalkboard says, "See the prod schedule filament for details." The handwriting is only partly legible, but you can still make out 3 slogans: "Call in, tune out," "Wirral untethered," and "Heat death of the universe." This old fireplace is covered in lines drawn in blue and red marker, the mesh spreading over the stone like blood vessels on alabaster skin. It looks ghostly and strangely ancient. A diagram for summoning some time-forgotten being? The symbols seem very esoteric. The whole thing resembles Kadran mosaic tiles. Very pedantic. History classes, students with their textbooks open, studying the roots of our civilization. Those radio frequencies, it seems, UKV 123.6, UKV 123.7, UKV 123.9. Some written notes, too, sparse and cryptic. Unclear. It looks like a cardiovascular system split into veins and capillaries. Very advanced. You think so? The web is comprised of radio stations, all lead back to one red heart, titled the Game Master Frequency. A note says, this one can listen in on any station it wants. Someone very important, the leader of a massive on-air game built by these people. A conductor for the hundreds of story threads that pass through the Game Master's frequency. Whoever decides to call in to a call-in station, it looks like. All of this is gone, left unrealized. There's no way a little basement studio working here could pull anything like this off.
My God, it's as if the less money they had, the more ambitious their project became. The schedule, I know doom when I see it. The company was running out of funding.
Nothing. It's just lines on marble. An echo from times long gone. No one has used the fireplace in ages.
Okay, what do you think is going on with that computer, chalkboard, and fireplace? Yes, I got that. What I meant was, what were they trying to achieve with this damn game? What were their ambitions? Because this here looks rather advanced.
He has respect and curiosity for this failed endeavor. This wasn't your grandma's game studio. This is something else.
Precisely. It's absolutely mad. An automated role-playing game.
And I don't use the mad lightly, he thinks.
Not to my knowledge. They make automated games in Graz, Messina, Königstein. You know, places with industry.
Not in Revachol West, among the ruins.
But I don't think anyone has attempted to create an inter-isolary game before. We just don't have the technology. Indeed, those Welkins are a dead giveaway. Role-playing people love that stuff. The world looks like a modified version of the WeWorld board game, with heat death thrown in.
Super cool. Someone should give them millions of real immediately. This game is too good to be left unfinished.
Through call-in stations, none of the players have to be physically present. Anyone in the world can participate in the game, as long as they have a two-way radio. Then there's the Game Master frequency that listens in on the smaller call-in stations. I think that was supposed to coordinate the stories, functioning as a master of ceremonies of sorts. Indeed, it's ambitious and untethered from reality, but... It's too late for that, I'm afraid. Okay, let's keep moving.
You see a terrifying ice bear with a strange compartment in its belly. The door is covered. The bear looks oddly. A thick layer of coal dust covers. Looks like this furnace has a face, and it's a face of agony.
Looks like it. Looks like an old central furnace used to heat the building. It's connected to the chimney. No one has used it in ages. No signs of any recent fire.
It's dark and grimy here. In the darkness you can hear chatter. It's coming from above. A voice or several voices talking to each other. Near the smoke chamber, upstairs.
What are you doing? Wait, really? You should investigate, see if someone's upstairs.
A lush layer of coal now covers your skin, sinking into the wrinkles. Your hands look ancient.
You feel the spirit of Ramut Karzai, ancient hero of Grad, pulsing through you. All that's left is to cover your face in war paint. 3 dangerous stripes appear onto your cheeks, telling stories of your wild soul.
What are you doing? Please wipe your face clean, officer.
No, you're a proud warrior. Keep it. You can feel your cheeks turn red under the lieutenant's gaze. You look like a kid, not a police officer.
Thank you. So, where were we?
It's dark.
What are you doing? Wait, really? You should investigate.
A lush.
You feel the spirit of Ram.
3 days.
What are you? Please wipe.
No, you're a proud warrior.
Thank you. So, where were we?
A hollow ring echoes through the furnace. A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment behind the wall. It's too dark to see in.
There is, yes. And there also appears to be something inside the hole. Interesting.
Your hand reaches deep into darkness and spiderwebs, rummaging around. you find rusty rifles hidden away.
Are these any good?
Most of them are rusty and inoperable, like the rest, but one catches your eye, a bolt-action model with a fine wood stock, in better cosmetic order than the others.
That's a rare sight. Seems to no longer be functional, but still a beautiful thing in its own way. It means there are firearms, albeit inoperable, still lying around in Martinez. It's an interesting coincidence, I would say. Might come in useful in the future.
He likes this find.
Seems like an old bunker from the revolutionary period. Look at all those rifles. Must be an old weapons cache.
Two cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red one leads off into the darkness, and the black one to the ice cream maker.
Don't rip the red one out. You'll awaken the ghosts.
Something close to you dies with a soft electric purr.
Why did you do that?
The lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say anything. Somewhere, a machine hums along with the current, happy and contented. An electric sizzle. The room is slightly quieter now. You see the looming shadow of an ice bear with a strange compartment in its belly. The door is slightly open. The bear looks oddly realistic. Is it taxidermy? A faint waft of cold air rolls out. You hear the sound of dripping water. This is the inside of a defrosting refrigerator. The lieutenant takes a peek inside. His hand has found the holster of his gun.
Of course, just a giant ice bear-shaped fridge. Let's take a look inside.
The shelves are empty. All you see are crumpled ice cream wrappers with the brand name, Revachol Ice City. A handwritten note has been attached to the door. The fridge is huge. But where's the filament memory? It's not here.
Good question. It looks like an ice cream fridge. I know. What an unfortunate marketing choice. At least it's not running them a loss anymore, now that you've unplugged the cable.
The fridge sits empty before you. An overindulgent wardrobe, now that the cooling systems aren't active. A friendly cartoon bear smiles back at you from a glossy cellophane wrapper. You pocket the note and the little fridge magnets keeping it on the door.
Someone must have taken it. What?
The note is written with a blue pencil on a piece of lined office paper. The kitchen magnets have left spots on its surface.
Does it say anything interesting?
This is tangential at best, but the lieutenant's detective instinct is still active. Someone has scribbled, S. I can't believe the off-site copy is still here. The illiterate ginger kid keeps stealing stuff from the studio, so I had to hide it somewhere safe. You'll find the filament memory with the off-site copy in the frozen ice cream maker. Please take it home, ASAP. It's important. I'd do it myself if I lived in a civilized place with a freezer. Take care, Sully Swaff.
Really? You don't have a single guess? Oh, I'm sure that child would love to get his hands on the filament memory. Even if he doesn't know what to do with it, he'd probably try to pawn it for speed, based on our encounter. Sulislav. Wasn't he one of Miss Lukanen's Kilda's co-workers? I remember coming across this name when we were reading her personal log. It belongs inside a radio computer, storing its memory. It's like a tape. You listen. I don't know. I assume it's somewhere close to the...
Didn't you see one right next to the breaker box? This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner on top and an electric. Turning the crank feels oddly satisfying, like stirring your childhood dreams. In the distance, you hear water dripping. It's all gone now. You'll never become a poet or an entrepreneur. You slip your fingers under the frozen lid, but the ice is too cold for you to get a good grip. A pry bar would come in handy here, or something stronger.
Didn't Sona give you a perfect tool?
Equip the multi...
This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine, turning the... It's all gone now. You'll never become a poet or an entrepreneur. This orange machine... This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has... This orange machine... This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has... This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. This orange machine is buzzing. Ice squeaks beneath your Kavalzun multi-tool, but your fingers slip away from... Unplugging the ice cream maker will allow it to defrost. Only the black cable is plugged into the... Something close to you dies.
Very smart. Opening the lid should be much easier after the ice cream maker has defrosted.
This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric freezer. The ice around it slowly melting. This orange machine is dead still. This orange machine is dead still. Ice squeaks beneath your Kavalzund multi-tool, and it's already unplugged. There's not much else to do other than wait for it to defrost or bulk up and get stronger. A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it pitch black. A lush...
You feel the spirit of Ramut Karzai, ancient hero of Grad.
Yes, the lieutenant seems relieved as well. A lush layer...
You feel 3 days.
What are you doing? Please wipe your face.
No, you're a proud warrior.
Thank you. So, where were we? Looks like it. No one has used it in ages.
It's dark.
What are you doing? Wait, really? We should investigate, see if someone...
An iron safety curtain curves before your eyes, folded like a bellows. It covers half the room, blocking the way into a colossal industrial chimney. This is directly above the central furnace in the cellar. The voices probably came from here. What an odd thing to do. Nothing happens. Still nothing. Those curtains prove to be surprisingly sturdy. Your fist hurts now.
There must be another way to wake up whoever is in there. Maybe we should ask the lady in the bookstore what's going on here.
This orange machine is dead still. It has. You slip your fingers.
Didn't Sona give you a...
Equip the multi...
Both cables are unplugged, somewhere in the dark. A giant electrical mammal stirs to life. As before, an iron safety curtain curves before your eyes. This is directly above the central furnace in the cellar. The voices probably came from here. It's getting cold.
Good night, officer.
There it is, a brave little army in your pocket. You picked the best one. This soldier is fat and succulent. What are you waiting for? Light up. Re-become yourself. Get a load of this rock and roll cop hair, people. Repercussions? There's a high risk of glory with a mild chance. It will help you concentrate a bit. That much is true. It only lets you concentrate because you're in nicotine withdrawal. It only mitigates its own. Blah, blah, blah. Boring. Light it up. Thick, warm smoke gets sucked down into your lungs. Immediately, you feel a warm nostalgia fill your head, body, and soul. A nostalgia for yourself. The man you were in your youth. Johnny Thundercop is back, and he's chill as balls.
In the bottom right corner of the screen, there's a cigarettes button. Cigarettes gives +1 to intellect skills. Logic, rhetoric, conceptualization, visual calculus, encyclopedia, and drama. This is good before a white check. Officer, what brings you up here in the rain? Ah, yes. The night before I saw you in the hallway and reminded you're a police officer.
The date of your re-entry into the fossil record.
Wow. That's some creation myth stuff right there. Wow. Elysium. You don't hear that term often.
She's a glib girl, but she liked the wording.
There was the usual ruckus. Loud disco music. I can't say. Probably not. Sounded like you were flying solo. Oh, yes. Various artists. Ostentatious orchestrations prime among them.
Oh, that? Yeah. Whoa. The less said about OO, the better.
Oh, were huge where I come from. I was very young then, of course, like 7. Life gets hard, but we go on.
Then, doesn't life get hard because we go on?
I think you might have come to the same conclusion last night. At around 2 o'clock, the disco stopped, and there was a change of pace. A slow, sad song started playing, like organ music on repeat. That went on for quite a while. Some of that time you were yelling along to it. That it doesn't matter anymore, and that we're alone now. It was difficult to tell. The song itself was very quiet and soft, but you sounded like a wounded boar, sir. It was hard to understand what you were singing on top of it. Yes, it was very cool.
It's impossible to say whether she's being sarcastic or really means it.
Then you started screaming and trashed the place. A window was smashed, the tape player probably, the song stopped. And furniture too. A real destructathon. There was screaming. Then I think you passed out. There was. I think you screamed that you didn't want to be this type of animal anymore. I may have misheard, but it was sort of memorable. I went out afterwards. Everything was quiet by then, around 4 or 5, and that was it. No problem, sir.
She puts her coffee cup down. This does not surprise her.
Did he? I never said he was a good man, or that he had good intentions. Only that he was never bad to me.
She doesn't care. If anything, she sounds amused.
Where did they get this recording exactly? Does he say he's gonna do it Soldier of the Apocalypse style? Yeah. That was practically his pickup line. Did he say whores a lot? Was he pretty much on the verge of doing it Cohoy style? He liked the way it sounded when he said it. As to Cohoy, he wasn't actually there. He didn't do a tour, or at least didn't tell me he did. Would have been overkill anyway. He lived his own little Cohoy. It wasn't his everything. No, I'm pretty sure he did all those things. and then had to internalize them to keep on living until they just sort of turn into his, what's the word I'm looking for? Running joke. I was gonna say running joke. And it sounds like you didn't even get the good bits. Lely's punchlines got way, way funkier than that. He was like the Seminese conflict, the Kohoi massacre, and the 36 famine in Yezud all rolled into one person, then cast in Orani ceramic armor, which he wore in bed and in the shower.
When he said he was done, and done mentally, it didn't sound like a joke. Sounded like a deeply troubled man.
Well, maybe I pieced him back together with my magical personality. Afraid of what? That tape the Hardy Boys recorded? Your mother probably never told you this, but girls are evil. Had I the physical robustness and social support, I'd be in Kohoi. I would be tearing it up Soldier of the Apocalypse style. No. We were too busy laying waste to our own nervous systems to direct any of the fury outward. He seemed happy, I guess. At ease. As much as a man like him could be.
There is a small measure of pride in her that she could quell the rage in such a being. What kind of man was he? Before you go, ask for details. She seems okay to talk about it. She takes a very small sip of her coffee and smiles.
Sure, I can try. What do you need? Actually, officer, I didn't know his name. I just called him Lely, I guess. He came from Lelystad. It's short for that. And it was his army name, apparently. He said his real name wasn't his. I tried to pry it out of him, but it was no use.
Where in the GRIH is the lieutenant? Possibly speeding from one terminal to another in glorious solitude. Wherever he is, you need him. Your other questions will make little sense without him here.
Sure. Do whatever you need to do. I was just thinking, what a nice evening it is. I was just thinking, what a nice evening it is for taking part in a murder investigation.
Soft, light brown eyes look back at you, directly into the space behind your eye sockets. You see the smoke rise from between her painted red lips. She's beautiful. I have bad news for you. You know these guys? Who? Me? Yes, you. He's talking about you. You groveling sycophant. You too. Me? Get out of here. I'm solid. These guys are compromised. She's got them singing along to her tune. The little bleeps and bloops you trust for info, you can't trust them anymore. Believe it. There's no way of knowing. At the moment, I'm afraid it's best to assume all of them. Bullshit, man. I ain't compromised, especially that guy. That guy's the most compromised one in here. No fucking way, man. I just want a drag of that sweet menthol Ziggy. Really? Quick, tell me what's under her jumpsuit. Glory, truth, softness. Protect her. She wants you. I take it back. He's got it pretty bad. But this next guy's on another level entirely. She likes you. The crown head is a boring condom. He's jealous. This is human nature. How it always does, through subtlety. There's nothing you can do about it. You are how you are, and she is how she is. Things will go as they do. No. It's better to know you're being played than to be played without knowing it, is it not? I think it's safe to assume, yes, Mr. Thespian here hasn't been speaking up. If he were, I suspect there would be paeans to her truthfulness. Like this. She is a lady, most fair and just. In his defense, to reduce him to such inadequacy, she probably had to employ half-truths more often than outright lies. That is correct. And omissions too. A little. They're all still of limited use, interpreting things to the best of their ability. Maybe they add flair or something. I wouldn't know. I don't add flair. But when it comes to assessments of character and factual accuracy, they are not to be trusted. Not with her. Don't be melodramatic. You can trust them. Just not with Miss Orange Disco Dancer here. You can't draw a sound conclusion. The one he usually does says, she may want to control the information rollout, not to become a suspect. She may have a past she's escaping, unrelated to this case. You doubt it's something truly insidious. See? It's oddly moderate, probably compromised. Don't worry. It's only been 4 or 5 seconds. You've got this. The silence broken. She exhales a little cloud of smoke and says,
God, no.
the same small, heavy door. The same small, heavy door. No lock in sight. The same small, heavy door. No lock. The same small, heavy door. The same small, heavy door. No lock in sight. You give it another, more ferocious kick. The door still does not move.
Demolish the place.
Below, in the union box, was there something behind the window? In the hawthorn branches, brushing against the glass. No one knows. It is a fleeting feeling. It could be that your eyesight is still too poor to notice it. behind that window.
It's you again. What is it? And that fucking fucker. You're the worst cop in Revachol. I gave you gold on that tape.
That fucker wasn't aimed at you. It was at her.
Locker room talk. What are you, fucking brain dead? I've been to plenty of locker rooms. They don't plan rapes there.
Sounds like you wanted it to change her mind about the hanged man. This is definitely personal.
What did she have to say then? Fine by her? This is what people are supposed to be like? Fucking whoop-de-doo. Right. No good goddamn psycho whore.
Seems like they wanted to give Claudia a second chance to play along. She still didn't.
Right. Oh, fucking righty then. I guess it's good then.
Please try to control yourself in the presence of visitors, Titus.
This is just perfect. Just fucking perfect. Any thoughts on this, lawman?
You don't have to say everything out loud. Just mix and match.
I asked for your opinion, not a bedtime story. Tell it to your grandma. Fantastic. So now you remember how to do your job. I'm so sick of this piss. We should get something harder.
Yeah, guys.
Why?
Maybe not then.
Success. They admitted to unlawful collaboration to derail the investigation.
Yeah, they're all queers. Can't bump, hard fist, or anything.
That's all right, Glenn. I just thought, I thought anyone would come around if they heard that shit. Apparently I was wrong.
Yeah, that was fucked up.
You wanted her to see the man for what he was. Now that you know, you might want to lay off this topic, or else you might antagonize him.
I just got too worked up. Big man lost his shit. It's cool now. I already told you. We fucking hanged him.
There's less gusto in his voice now. His men too are growing increasingly. They're confused. This is growing over their heads. Convince Titus he's being manipulated. You should know by now. Titus Hardy will never falter. Just remember, it's about more than Glacia. It's about these men and Martinez, their district, their responsibility.
Huh?
You caught the leader off guard. Now strike.
Yeah, let them know. We'll kill you dead. Yeah, we liked it. It was fun, wasn't it, guys? We had a great time.
It wasn't for your fucking entertainment, Dennis. She...
It wasn't that. It wasn't... We just couldn't get him down, okay?
That's it. That's the weak one. You flushed him out. Now go in for the...
Officer, you will be next if you don't shut up.
He's onto you. He knows what you're trying to do. Steel yourself. Push on. Just ignore Theo.
We didn't kill him. We didn't even hang him. He was dead when...
Shut up, Angus!
Fatty! Say one more thing to the cops and I'll...
Dennis, stand down, or I'll beat your head in. Theo, take your hand off the belt. This isn't 31. I've got this under control. Angie, where's your goddamn inhaler? You sound like you're dying.
I left it home. I can't get it. I'm too fucked. I'm sorry.
Why are you so fucking fat, Angus? Now it's all pointless. Because of you. You wasted my time. I told you, Titus. I told you just give her up.
Lizzie, your help is no longer needed here. Go tell Everard.
Fine. I'll tell him. After a long walk along the coast.
What just happened between these two? You're in. He's all yours. Questions.
In a manner of speaking, we had help from another girl. It was her idea to hang him, and I liked it for political reasons. It sent a good message. Fella, you think too much. He's off all right. You're gonna hurt your head.
A little too far there, but you're definitely right.
That woman is just affiliated with the Hardy Boys. You don't know her, anyway. We're Hardy Boys, and that's it. Nope, you're not getting to her. It's Glacia you want to talk to. Not yet. Just some ideas. She says the shot came from outside, behind the window somewhere. So that's a clue. I'm thinking someone's past caught up with them. Either hers or his. She's got one of those checkered pasts. The shot could have missed. Could have been meant for her.
I like that. Been thinking the same thing myself.
My dude. One of those mercenary buddies of his could have done it. They got guns, training, years of bad blood, probably. Or it could have been someone else from Crenell. Tell you what I'd do. Check out the coast for vantage points. Maybe consult with a ballistics buddy of mine. That's what I'd do. If I wasn't too busy doing this clown dance with you.
He's calm now. Threw all that turmoil away and became himself again. He nods.
We're not sure. Probably a bullet. The wound was difficult to see. 'Cause the girls asked us to. They were in some shit.
Girls plural? There's another girl? 2 of them? Take note of this. They'll probably say more about her later.
Cop, I have no idea. The girl says she didn't.
He doesn't think she did. Or at least he hopes she didn't.
Classier came down. She seemed really out of it. Drugged up, even more than usual. Bug-eyed and gurning, you know. Not in a fun way. It looked like she'd redosed after something went down. I've seen that look before. She was scared. I knew someone had died. I've done this job for 10 years. I've seen it before. It's the politician in the motel room with the dead hooker scenario. Only in reverse.
Good analogy, boss.
You don't get to talk yet, Shanky. You're still on the bench. And you keep taking it easy too, Angus. We went upstairs. Sure as day the Mert was dead. There was a bullet hole through the window. Fucking dirty sheets and bottles everywhere.
He means they'd been fucking?
Tibbs patched the window. And the corpse. We hanged. Nah, he's my brother. He's in the window replacement business.
Tibbs. That's short for...
Yeah. Good man.
Bet their father's name, Atticus Hardy. Lucretia Hardy would be their sister. Anyway.
You may have noticed our girl's in some shit of her own. They can't show up on police radar kind. There are people after her. From the old world. Where she came from. They're powerful. Connected to the moral intern. She's clearly afraid for her life. Says if she showed up in your systems, she'd be ghosted away.
That's all he knows. That's all she's told him.
Why would I? I guess we abide all sorts of runaways and losers here. It's a Martinez thing. Me too. You do that. Hey, cop. Before you go, she... Clausia came to Martinez to hide. Many of us did. This is where you wash up when there's nowhere left to go. The Union takes you in. Now, she refused that protection. But
Still, after all this headache,
that's right. If we didn't take care of the people who end up here, this place would just be a couple of ruins and some cargo containers.
Hi again, gendarme. Admiring the atmosphere. Convenient. Oh yes, let's see. He knocked on my door a few days after the lynching. I think he was going through the entire building, asking questions. Let me think. He had an accent. He sounded like one of those mercenaries. He sounded vaguely Oranese. No, not vaguely, scratch that. He sounded definitely Oranese. Yes, but he was speaking to someone on his earpiece. Yes, you know those tiny speakers just reporting back whatever I was telling him. Muscular, handsome, nothing. That I didn't see anything. Why shouldn't he? What friend? No, I don't think it came up. Sure. Anything else on your mind? You did? And how did you like him? Ah, shoot. Why not? A visitor from the first world. He's not like you and me, gendarme. He can always return to his opportunities in Occident, sur la clé. Still, his coming and going brings some life to the village. Or is it just money? I don't know. Friends, I told you. That he won't be there when times get tough, I guess. It is. On Sundays. He has keys. And he likes the view. To the sea, I mean. What about me, gendarme? Bye-bye, gendarme.
The waves are beginning to die down. Look at those little bastards. The waves are beginning to die down. Look at those little bastards. Simmer down.
you think she really needs more of that after a man died at sea? What if I told you it is actually possible to go on a date sober? Before recorded history, men and women were able to do simple, very primitive things together sober. Acknowledge the situation and keep it basic.
I have, and I don't really.
You just want to go for a walk. What kind of a monster doesn't want to go for a walk? Walks are innocent.
Just a walk? I don't know, officer. I would not have taken you for an innocent perambulator. Where would this walk take us, officer?
Nothing creepy, strange, or out there. Keep it eerie and simple.
All right, I will walk with you. But you need to understand that nothing is going to happen. We're just walking. Me too. It's been ages since I just had a normal conversation with one of you guys.
She means men.
All right, I'll go put the kids to bed and we'll meet at Land's End in 15 minutes.
She doesn't wait for an answer. You better get ready.
Yes, what is it?
There's nothing else to do with... The woman gazes steadily at the waves. A sudden gust picks up her dark hair and lets it fall again, tousled, wild. She brushes a few stray locks from her eyes, and only then spots you approaching.
Aye, so here you are. It's late and the sun is going down. It'll be dark soon. If we stay here long enough, we will be joined by a cortege of drunks and teenagers. Know that you're not the first guy to bring a girl to Land's End. This is what the locals call a make-out spot. That is not going to happen here today. I just want to make that clear, Dimples.
Her thoughts are still elsewhere, with distances across the water, and with the water itself. Across the rusty water, that's La Delta, the financial district. In the mist-covered distance, towers rise as a rebuke to the poverty of this coast.
Drinking men aren't known for keeping their appointments. The world? Those big words men like to throw around as though they had weight. Let's just admire this piece of the world we happen to have in front of us, eh?
As she turns to face the sun, reflected in the waves, and the skyscrapers rising across the bay, you cannot help following her steady gaze. You should say something. Anything. Maybe the tequila sunset thing.
It's a common Ravacholian expression. Means drinking yourself to death. So, are you going to keep the name? Well then.
Not terribly impressed. Not surprised either. The remains of the dying sun are reflected in the waves and the skyscrapers rising across the bay. Your mind clears for a moment as your senses take it all in. Not just the glass skyscrapers, fragile looking in the shimmering air. River Esperance flowing into the bay.
Isn't it strange for this all-powerful thing, the sun, to be so generous towards us? You know, the best time to go out fishing is usually towards sunset, when the water is warmer.
The sun also falls on the Capeside tenements and war-torn ruins. An old sea fortress juts out, seemingly impervious to the sheen cast over everything else. The sun does little for the dead, and those hopelessly lost in their own minds. Or people living in desert climates with sparse vegetation and little drinking water.
Now you're just nitpicking. But I concede, maybe desert people sometimes disagree. Oh, that was a bit of pride and a bit of superstition.
And a bit of conceptual unity too. It being yellow and all. There's salt in the air, and the cries of the gulls and the skuas. Grit of the sand and the green glint of broken bottles. But still your gaze always returns to the dazzling streaks of light, wherever they may be reflected, their fading opulence.
It's bringing us spring, summer. It's entirely on our side, no matter what we do or who we are, for absolutely no reason. It's unlike no other powerful being, certainly no powerful organization or government. How can that be? Aye, it's political. No need to step on a soapbox about it. What if we disagree?
See, she doesn't want to disagree. Good sign. Keep it at that. Maybe some general remarks before you say something big. Work your way up to the cool.
These aren't real fishhooks, silly. They're earrings shaped to look like fishhooks. A drunk called Rosemary brought them to me. I kept them.
The wind ruffles her hair as she looks at the setting sun.
Thank you. I'm half Ubi. My mother was from Ubi Sunt. Not a lot of sun there, I hear, though I've never been.
The wind ruffles her hair as she looks at the setting sun.
I always do. I like it. It's like being on another planet, a water planet, with water worries and water joys.
The wind ruffles her hair as she looks at the setting sun. Here we go. 2 different approaches to cap this off with style.
That it does. But then, we are also enemies to our enemies, hey? And so she shines on us. The cops and the commies, the killers and the saints. You know, the wind's gonna pick up soon, and I have to go, but... Have this. The sun's good, but it doesn't stick things. I've no use for it anymore. No. Men around here are too drunk to pose a threat to me. Doubt it. But thank you for the company.
This is as far as it goes with her. You'd need to put a year between you and your last drink for anything more.
Farewell.
Put your hands where I can see them.
Show me your hands. This is the pigs. Show me your hands. Right now!
Scavenged, battery-powered police lights protrude from her back. The flickering light show reveals a gun in her shaking hand.
Failure to comply. Suspect is displaying aggression. Officer, under duress! Officer! I am the police. Don't move. Don't move. Hands on your head. Suspect is armed and dangerous. Suspect is on the loose. Suspect at large. Officer, administer street justice at our own peril. That one extra lick with a baton or extra knee strike above was what was actually required. Suspect is under control.
You'll have to go for the gun sooner or later. Perhaps you can learn crucial facts before you do.
It's a goddamn police shitbag. Off the pavement. You're under arrest.
She thinks she's a police officer. Try treating her like a police officer. A lower-ranking police officer.
What? Sir?
With a swift, poorly coordinated move, the woman slams the megaphone against her lips and teeth. A trickle of blood runs down her chin. She doesn't notice it.
Officer compromise. Unlawful impersonation. Pigs en route. Engage your will.
Okay. She's actually more agitated now. My bad.
Back up. Back up. Back up. Status unconfirmed.
I do? Gareth? No,
Aggravated assault. Man down. Suspect on foot. Law enforcement compromised. Impersonating a police officer.
Does she not believe you're actually a police officer?
License and registration. License and registration. Come in dispatch. Sector. Azimuth.
It's not a code, just disjointed words.
flying quarters, assailant coming at me! Split-second decision! Ah, well.
Oh my god. Condition black. All systems critical. No. They're really not. The gun wasn't even loaded. No shots fired. You're fine.
What is this? This isn't police issue. Police weapons have bullets. This isn't real. Police guns always have bullets. What is this? Why did you sell me this?
She looks devastated. Grab the gun right now. This might be your only chance.
No one ever cares anymore. Why would they treat me like this?
This linden-headed machine of pain and undignified suffering is grinding to a halt. Tired of walking the desert, it doesn't want to feel or think anymore. Okay, you need to figure out what to do with her now.
Nobody's ever around. Nobody ever comes to visit me.
Her scratched skin is warm to the touch, but the person inside doesn't even know you're there. The catatonic woman, especially now that she's unarmed, doesn't seem to be a threat to anyone but herself. The catatonic woman doesn't understand, probably even hear your kind words.
Please leave the radio on. Mr. Moran is on Channel 8.
Reflex to what? Being left alone? The woman stands slumped. She looks catatonic under her mountain of RCM paraphernalia. Is one of those things a police cap? She doesn't even flinch as you reach out and disentangle the familiar-looking lieutenant's cap from her mountain of RCM paraphernalia. The old woman doesn't react to your touch. The woman is one of those...
lieutenant. No response. What are you doing? Still, is he not worried that you didn't get the body down? Anything to not face the hanged disco man yet. You hear the sound of a drawer closing, followed by the shuffling of feet.
Is that you, Harry?
No, thou art God.
Very funny. What do you want? Very funny. What do you want? Bad dreams? You'll get used to them, I promise. Sometimes it helps to go for a...
You're going to have to figure this one out.
Good night, Harry.
Yes, what is it? I see you've talked to them. Good. Drugs are illegal, and I'm not leaving this church, especially because of...
Huh? I said, yeah. Gotta come. I suck it.
It's getting cold, this late in the night. Time to call it a day. It's getting cold. The bed is comforting. The bed underneath you is soft, if lumpy. Waves wash the sand underneath the hut, then grow distant to your ear. In the quiet hum of the organic heater, you fall asleep.
Like a deftly cast fishing net, sleep pulls you out of the world and into its dark shore. The rough mesh chafes, tightening around you, it digs into your brain.
How have things been going for you out there? Helped anyone lately? Saved anyone lately? Murdered anyone lately?
This bastard isn't even listening to you.
Because you know you are a murderer. A disco music listening psycho killer who offs poor people. And then forgets about it.
Hear that? Iceman wants to sleep. He doesn't care about killing people. That's nothing to him. Black water under the bridge. The thing he's really scared of is much, much worse than that.
We're trying to help you. All these processes, these tortures, voices and tremors are all just distractions, flares and countermeasures to keep you from the last dream. The worst of them all.
The last dream will be total annihilation. Cinders peeling off the fuselage. We won't be there to help you anymore, Harry. We will be dormant. You will be naked and alone.
Of hell. An ancient sadness, brother. 10,000 years later, in front of the video rental, there is a warm breath on your face again. Everything is okay again.
Everything is so okay. Your eyelids flutter open for a moment. When you close them again, you sense the light of the room.
The last thought in your head before waking is, maybe you shouldn't have seen that stained glass window in the church.
I see you haven't left our little Martinez yet. Still running around. Like some... Aye, but don't let it grow too much. This is not the place to settle down.
You broke down the back door? The wards. The door. It's all gone now. Dark psychic energy leeching onto my shop. You fool! You've gone and unleashed unimaginable evil, all for the sake of a refrigerator. Just a door? This place is cursed, Detective. They don't call it the doomed commercial area for nothing. Just look at the sheer amount of companies that have... I hope you're happy now. Happy that you've ruined everything. Now that you've broken the door, the curse is coming to get me as well. Of course you didn't. You're nothing but a policeman. All right. You know what? I'm willing to let you investigate the doomed commercial area. We are set on the path. There's little else to do. But before we go on, tell me, did you encounter the malignant entity? You did? Then it has to be true. I've suspected that this woman-shaped energy must be connected to the curse ever since I first saw her. Did you see that she lives inside the chimney? Yes, that chimney is part of the building's central furnace, and it's enormous. She has barricaded herself behind some metal security curtains. God knows what she's doing there. Some unnatural magic, I assume. You should go find the entity and ask what happened to all the companies in the building. And do return to me after you've talked to it. I'm quite anxious to know what she has to say about the curse.
If you're really interested in cracking this mystery, then we should go back to the furnace. Maybe you could yell into it or something. Make some noise. You'll think of something. You always do.
Despite his cool, the lieutenant's interested in solving this mystery.
Okay, but please, only a few questions. The curse is so much worse than you could imagine. It's the curse of financial...
Didn't that curtain just move?
It's not just... There's something...
Sounds familiar.
Truly so? Perhaps the dark energy... It's not good to...
Wow. Void raves.
Yes, the wards help to keep the doom at bay and protect... Oh, there are numerous...
Desert pygmy shamans.
Yes,
the woman before... A colorful...
Again, I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and cigarettes damage your health.
A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles.
Okay, here. I hope Saint Baptiste makes you feel... Okay, here.
This orange machine is dead. Only the red cable is plugged into the breaker box, while the black one lies neglected on the floor. A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it pitch black. A thick layer of coal dust covers the... Something breaks loose in you. A mighty bellow echoes throughout the chimney's depths. The chatter of tiny voices above suddenly cease. Then...
Hello?
You've awakened the entity.
Hello? Did you say anything? I can't hear you. Please come upstairs. There's a safety curtain on the second floor. I'll open it.
You hear a low rumble upstairs. The sound of a curtain being pulled aside.
After you, officer.
Holding the gun feels natural and satisfying. It's like an extension of your arm. It reminds you of the day you first held it, with fear and respect, hoping you don't have to use it. In this gun, Sunrise Parabellum, will be the only thing standing between you and the all-consuming nothingness that threatens to eat the world.
Hello, I'm Nia. Did you try knocking on my window? I must have missed you. I've been listening to my Milius. So what kind of dye are you looking for?
Could this be the malicious entity? Perhaps it's wise to go along with this masquerade for now. She's got a direct view to the backyard. You should interrogate her about the lynching.
Then how did you get inside? By the south entrance? You know what? It doesn't even matter. What matters is that you're finally here. Let's talk dice. Did you have something specific in mind? Yes, Amelie is like a call-in station. You need a two-way radio to access one. That's why I have these. Mostly, they just teach you to swear in different languages. But some of the stations can be quite interesting. I was so absorbed, I must have missed you knocking. I'm a novelty dice maker. Tell me the name of your role-playing system and I'll make the die you need. That's why you're here, yes?
Role-playing games? You know the one made by Fortress Accident. Does that count?
Very good. My rate is 10 real per set, unless you want something really unusual. Take a look around and see if there's any particular stone you want to use.
It almost looks as if the stones and dice are a natural part of the room, growing out of the shelves like stalagmites. This person means you, or no one else, absolutely no harm. She will answer freely and honestly. No falsehoods are present. She's a novelty dice maker and doesn't have anything to hide. Ask what you need.
How did I become one? It was a business decision. I was a regular jeweler at first, but that's an unfocused field with too much competition. Some of my friends were role players. They asked me to make some polyhedral dice out of cobalt. That was my first order. I grew it from there. Not especially. I like working with rare materials and a steady pay. And role players as customers? They're nice people.
Some of those nice people have big bucks to spend on novelty items. She's thankful for the security they provide her.
Of course. Tell me what you have in mind. A star that fell from the firmament? Those cost more than 7 real. Are you sure? Yes, you definitely have the proper attitude. How about a pair of 100-sided dice, made of ivory and inlaid with lodestone, a naturally occurring magnet, to complement your magnetic personality?
Pieces of lodestone were used as the first magnetic compasses, from which they derived their other name, coarse stones. That's a stone for leaders.
10 real, and I can get these ready in 8 hours. It's true, magnetic dice are definitely different. When rolled together, the magnetic fields of the pips interact with each other to push and pull on each other as they're rolled, just like all magnetic personalities do. Maybe you have some other ideas for dice? What do you mean by cursed? Alright, how about I surprise you? Come back in 8 hours with 7 real, and I'll give you your cursed die. Maybe you have some other... Ah, yes, Fortress Accident. It's too bad they never finished their game. The Wiro Untethered die is a variation of a standard role-playing die. Only, instead of plants, it uses motives of ice and death. And loss, of course.
Ice, death, loss. Sounds like you.
I'm thinking something made from alligator jawbone, cast in black resin. The reptile bone is as white as ice and dead as, well, death. For 7 real, I could have it ready in 8 hours. Untreated bone is porous and prone to chipping. Cast it in. It's an icositetrahedron, a 24-sided die that can produce results for 2-sided, 3-sided, 4-sided, 6-sided, and 12-sided die with a...
Loving it. So nifty.
Maybe you have some other idea? How about an amber die? Who told you amber was cheap? It's beautiful, really, and has been trained. For 7 real, I'll craft you a 13-sided. I had a feeling. Maybe you have some other ideas for dice? I think I have just the right one for you.
Police colors.
Not the most original, I know, but sometimes the obvious choice is obvious because it's best. Here, catch. They're a gift from me.
A beautiful woman tossing you a gift. Whatever you do, don't overthink it. 2 tiny pieces of carved stone drop to the floor and scatter in opposite directions, like pearls from a broken string.
Ah, down the drain, like your career. I apologize, officer. That comment was unnecessary. That one is made of bloodstone with a lapis lazuli inlay. The other one was the inverse. They were a set, you see, but now the set is broken. It's a shame. They might have brought you luck. And you definitely need luck in Martinez.
Is she pitying you? Good God, she's pitying you.
Now, was there anything else? Nothing really. I didn't know him.
Who cares about the dead body? We might be dealing with a malignant entity here. The lieutenant looks at his notebook. Then, the woman under the large window.
Your window looks directly onto the courtyard. You're saying you didn't see or hear anything unusual last Sunday evening?
I'm sorry, detective, but as you know, I usually have my headphones on when I'm working. It shuts out most of the daily ruckus behind my window. I might have, but in this case, all I would have seen is my own reflection staring back from the darkness. It's really hard to make anything out in the yard when it's dark outside. Besides, I rarely get up to look out the window when I'm in the zone. Well, there's always something going on in the Whirling's backyard. During daytime, there are usually those kids. And lately, I've been seeing a lot of drunk workers hanging about. Must be because of...
She's heard of the murder, but did not see it. She's not sorry to disappoint you. Informing on someone in a murder investigation would intrude upon her focused
But I never saw anyone during that phase. It's an odd profession, making dice for people. But I like it. And now...
She nods.
Anything else, officer? Of course. Tell me what you have in mind. What do you mean by cursed? Alright, how about I surprise you? Come back in 8 hours with 7 real, and I'll give you your cursed die. Great, see you in 8 hours then. I'm sorry, I'm a bit overloaded just now, so I can only produce 1 die per customer.
Yes?
What have you found? And also, do buy the books.
This bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance, and biographies. Several maps. The maps look shelves full of biographies of shelves filled to the brim with
What have you found? And also, do... Okay, but please, only...
the woman with
Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for a dye? We're inside the chimney of an old central furnace. It's strange, I know. But when I arrived here, all the other rooms were taken, so I had to build myself a makeshift home. Besides, I don't really have to pay any rent here, so that's a plus.
Plaisance was right. There's an entity living in the chimney. You should ask her about the curse.
Creative.
I've heard the stories, but I don't think those stories are true. It's just capitalism. We only hear about tales of success, so it's often surprising to realize how many ventures actually fail. Plaisance, the bookshop lady? I've heard that her business is doing rather well. Have the energies spared her somehow? Oh, right. But it's not just the bookstore that's still up and running. What about the whirling in rags? Some people say it's part of the building complex. You could say so. Both houses were built at the same time and under the east of the Commerce Central project. And then there is me. I've been here for 14 years, selling novelty dice to role-playing enthusiasts. Not exactly a million-real business idea, yet somehow I've survived despite the talk of malicious energies. Strange, isn't it?
Maybe it's just because she's so talented that she's been able to woo the curse.
What, so the curse only affects people with poor work ethics? What you're describing isn't a curse, it's capitalism.
Time has come to face the source. Fear not, for the forces of the universe are supporting you in this psychic quest.
So I'm the Grand Dragon in the cave. Might I ask what supports this claim? Oh my, I've revealed myself. You better call the exorcists. Of course. How convenient. Well, if you ever find a way to explain all those inconsistencies in the curse, then let me know.
That's all she has to say on the subject. She has been thorough and truthful. As far as Plaisance needs to hear about this, perhaps if you combine your psychic energies, you will make sense of the situation.
More or less. Are you interested in anyone specific?
Oh, quite a lot of them spring to mind.
It wasn't merely a gym, it was Artemitep's boxing club, a community project created to steer at-risk youth away from drugs and crime. A kind man from Zemsk. I heard he had some trouble with the law when he was younger, and that's why he wanted to start the gym, as his way of giving back. Kuno. Who's Kuno? Oh yes, you mean the kid with the sailor's mouth. Yes, I've heard him yelling profanities in the backyard. I think it would take more than a gym to help that kid. It didn't. If anything, it made the youth situation in Martinez even worse. At some point, someone started a rumor that the punching bag downstairs was full of amphetamines.
It's not really full of that. No one would store their drugs like that.
Eventually, the coalition took away the funding and the club went bankrupt. This was a few years ago. It's gotten much more peaceful around the plaza ever since. Yes, I think it was called Androgynous Orlando or something similar. They weren't a big hit around here. Turns out that working class men don't like genderless haircuts. They're scared of that word.
A bit of experimenting every now and then isn't bad.
I guess it just wasn't the time yet. Oh, this one's a mess. There used to be a company that promised to repair windows 24 hours a day. What could go wrong with this one, right? Turns out, the business was actually set up as a front for an illicit group that was producing snuff medias. Who would have guessed?
What's the snuff milieu?
And they never cleaned up the debris either. Now it's just littering the hallway and I have no idea how to get rid of it on my own. It's a sub-Rosa radio station that broadcasts real murders with real victims. Some people pay good money to get off on it.
Nothing changes in her tone as she says that, as if it's just another piece of information to lay out for the world.
Don't worry, the ACP has a separate division that deals exclusively with unlicensed sub-Roses. This isn't our problem.
Good luck with that. It's not easy catching those perpetrators. You mean Mr. Fabron, the taxidermist? No, he mostly just did drugs. Anything else? There used to be a fashion atelier here, but I have forgotten the head designer's name. They were doing well for a couple of years, until the insect rights activists came. Yeah, the atelier didn't know it either. They produced a certain collection that used chitin among the materials. Apparently chitin is made in the Occident, where it's extracted from beetle wings. And you know how all kinds of political movements are big in the Occident. The activists shut down the biggest chitin supplier, which of course caused the price to skyrocket. And, naturally, all the most fashionable tastemakers refused to be seen in chitin from then on. The atelier went bankrupt before they could finish the collection. Really? Anyway.
Poor guy. Suddenly, you get a feeling that insects are important to the case somehow. It's hard to say why.
They were made by a company called Slipstream. After they pivoted from making rotor blades to skis, their chief executive took off on a vacation with all their money. Honestly, I think it's quite funny. I think he's still sending out holiday transmissions from Tulula or Tiumotiri or Hashtkor or wherever he is. The usual, I imagine. That he's been thinking up all kinds of new business plans and can't wait to get started on them just as soon as he returns.
Men like that are a curse.
Sure, but Slipstream is history now. All their remaining assets got seized by the bailiffs in 47. I have no idea why those skis and blades are still lying around in the house.
They were just props. Why return them?
Fortress Accident, the radio game studio.
She liked them.
They were an interesting bunch. We talked about role-playing systems every now and then. Once, I even saw two of them get into fisticuffs over Wirral.
That's understandable. Fantasies are serious things. The mind is the drawing board of history.
They certainly took their work very seriously, even if they seemed to be chronically liberal with their schedules. An accident? I wouldn't know anything about that. I just heard they ran out of money and couldn't get the project done on time. Well, I did hear them talking at times. They seemed to believe they were historical individuals on some grand quest.
She sounds almost mocking when she says that.
That's what I thought. Because when the money started to run out, they just began to complain a lot about capitalism. You know, how the markets are rigged to keep up new businesses and so on. In the end, they just didn't get it done. They didn't have enough willpower to produce something truly historic, and to show up to work on time. And so is producing something extraordinary.
Something strains her face before she looks up again.
Anything else? Oh boy, the fabled Revo Show ICT. You're in for a treat here. The place was owned by two guys who had some rather innovative ideas about marketing. The bear was one of them. Now ask me about their other ideas.
Indeed. What were the other ideas?
There was really just one, and it involved picking out the prettiest girls in the neighborhood and paying them 20 cents per hour to man the booth. And by man the booth, I mean slump behind the counter with a face that could maim you if you ever dared to disturb their bored magazine browsing.
Sounds like she really didn't like those girls.
Oh, but they did. They did show up to work, and not alone. There were also acne-ridden girlfriends and gorilla-like boyfriends loitering near the ice cream stand, and they already had the bear. The bear. Of course not. The bear was terrifying. No one wants ice cream guarded by a hostile apex predator. To make matters worse, the fridge didn't work too well either, and half the ice cream came out malformed and partially melted. Eventually, Ravishaw Ice City lost the price war to its rival, Glace 5000. Glace 5000 sold caramel sundaes for only 5 cents a piece, out of regular fridges. Maybe, because the taxidermist who made that bear definitely wasn't doing his best, I mean. He said that the bear was his vision beast. He said he met his vision beast while high on desiccants. Called it Megatherion.
Sounds cool. Why is everyone doing drugs in this place? Even the taxidermist?
Megatherion, a mega wild beast. It's an imaginary beast that guides you through life by telling you to do more drugs, mostly. Do you? Well, good luck keeping it under control. Anyway, now you know the story of the fallen ice cream empire. Anything else? Another failed... Oh, right. I hope you didn't try to ring me. I think none of those doorbells work, including mine. I'm still in the middle of connecting the wires. Sorry about the confusion.
The doorbell with the empty name card must belong to her then.
That's right. I haven't even written my name there. As I said, it's quite useless right now. It doesn't work yet. Right, it used to be a gaming arcade. This is an ancient failure, before my time. My advice? Don't base your business on a fad. Hypnotism, floriography, trick-track, especially pinball.
Agreed. Pinball is the worst.
His disdain for pinball could not be clearer.
It can't be true. They don't work here anymore. They've been gone for years. Are you sure it was Slipstream SEA? Was it a woman? Maybe it was Plaisance from the bookstore. Tricentennial Electrics? It used to be a major electric company 100 years ago. Are you sure it wasn't just some kids playing a prank?
No, it was something else. It was eerie. It was too real to be just a prank. Either we're dealing with a professional actress, or...
Pranks can be eerie. Oh, the kids these days. We were just... You could say so. Both houses were built at the same time.
If the whirling is part of the same building...
Sure, I'm listening. I'm pretty sure. Sure, I'm listening. Good. I hope it clarified things a bit. What else? I'm listening. Good. I hope it clarified things a bit. Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for a dye? Oh, it's you again.
You feel nothing. If anything, it's uncomfortably warm.
Excuse me, what are you doing?
Officer!
Oh no, not the zipper. No, I don't feel hot. We're in a derelict smokestack. If anything, then it's cold here. And why would you do that? And what technique is that?
Miss, I apologize for my colleague's behavior. He's still recovering from an unusual medical episode.
Officer, this isn't how mature adults deal with their feelings.
Now you feel something. The cold damp of shame washing over you.
The air pressure told you to take your pants off in my studio?
This is not going very well, is it, word-wise?
Can you please employ this special technique somewhere else? I work here and my work requires concentration. Half-naked people don't help with that.
What have you found? And also, do buy the book. A novelty dice maker? Well, spit it out. Why does she need the dice? For some kind of sorcery? Sometimes they use the ankle bones of sheep. I don't understand. If it's not her, then where is the source of the doom? How did she explain the curse?
The narrative she's built herself, it does need tearing down. Just don't say you don't have any answer yet.
The uncertainty is killing her. To hell with it. Perchance you ought to just lie, sire. You've come this far. You know how to end it. There is an entity behind the entity.
A third order presence, yes.
A great dark relief washes over her.
I've heard of these triactors. In certain occult literature, that's too dark to dwell on for too long, and definitely not in public. I understand everything, sir. Thank you for your descending into the maelstrom. I will keep fort up here, strengthen the wards, do my best. And if you happen upon the third entity in your travels, may the Lord be with you.
Well, this has been absolutely educational. If we happen on the third presence in our travels, we will certainly come back to tell you.
Yes, the venture continues. In other waters, darker waters.
Should we get out of here?
Hello, sir. How is the investigation going? Found any curses yet? Oh, that's great!
An old call box. East Delta Commerce Center. This must be the name of the doomed commercial area. Whatever she says, it can't hurt you. You're a different person now. All right. Maybe not healthier, but it's a bonus that you've drunk so hard you can't remember. There's a light buzz as you press the door.
Yes, hello. This is Tricentennial Electric. Have you come to place an order? My God.
Here come the bad vibes again. Relax. Distance yourself from it.
It's you. My God. I didn't think I would hear your voice again. Michelle, just please. Why did you even call? I don't understand. You've been gone for months. I thought you didn't care.
Is this some kind of joke? The voice from the intercom doesn't answer, but you can hear her breathing. Wind blows into your microphone again. Correct.
Ever since I came to work here, it's been different. As if my mind's been wiped clean. It's so nice. It's so nice to be able to finally forget about you.
And then it hits you. She tries again not to cry, and still doesn't succeed completely. Her quiet sobs sound old and distant, as if her voice is being played off a wax cylinder. Real or not, your mirror neurons react. It feels painful to be listening to this. Her sound melts into the static from a long-distance phone call. From time to time, you can hear people talking in the distance, but can't make out any words. This is where you hung up the call the last time, but the recording is still going. A phone rings in the office with an old-fashioned chime, and someone walks by in a pair of heels. The static is like a warm blanket wrapped around the sounds. No one replies, but the static grows stronger like rainfall. Then
A female voice speaks out, completely different from the... Her words are too cold to comprehend. She smells of sodium lights and rain streaks on car windows. Eyes like pilot lights watch your shape in dark hallways, guttering.
So... it was a recording trapped in the circuitry from some ancient tenant. This sometimes happens. Shall we conclude here? We have other mysteries to solve. I don't have time to explain it to you right now. Maybe sometime later. Don't take this the wrong way, but during our short stint working together, something weird is almost always happening to you.
That is true. This button looks...
This button looks new. I wouldn't be...
This orange machine is dead still. It has... This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric freezer. The ice around it slowly melting.
You're back. Good. What can...
She's not even asking you anything. It's so easy to just say.
Sounds like he has you running errands, Detective. A well-established dominance ritual. Where did he have you deliver it? Ah, yes. I've been meaning to go there.
With longing. Clear and simple longing. Strange. Why does she want to go there?
I should be. In my youth, I had a brief dalliance here in Martinez. He was an older man with impossibly broad shoulders. He's probably dead by now. Even his shack is long gone. Not that it matters. These buildings are all carbon copies of one another. I'm glad to see your short-term memory appears intact. In any case, I wasn't a teen anymore. I would have been in my early 20s. I remember a distinctly vile disco track. Not overly so. It's not like this was the only place we visited. Me and my girlfriends from Azon with our shiny boats. Like reavers. We told ourselves we were the worst thing to happen to the coast since the Coalition landed in '08. Imagine.
Oh no, she's sentimental, all right.
I'm over-radiated, Harry. I do silly things sometimes, out of pale-related illness. Like take this job. The moral of the story is...
So it was a factor in her coming to Martinez in the first place. Interesting.
Do not spend 22 days a year in Pale Transit. Don't waste your 20s slumming it with your stupid friends. And don't deliver Everard Clare's mail. Are you satisfied, Detective? What else can you tell me about your mail delivery quest for Everard? Do you think it will improve the place? A youth centre with Edgar Clare's statue on top of it. Go ahead. Help him. Make it so. I have no power to stop him. Yes. I'm sad I'll never have the time, Detective. I've always wanted a dilapidating fishing village.
She is more defensive about it.
Full of ghosts and ancient memories. Has this errand yielded you any information? Oh. That's so helpful of him.
The lieutenant looks at you, and you can swear his jaw muscle is trembling. When I said be wacky, I didn't mean wildly, grossly irresponsible and damaging to the RCM.
Unconventional police officers sometimes lose their guns. They then go around and tell people about this, to gauge their reactions. It's all part of detecting.
Incredible. Simply incredible. And how is it going? Has this detecting produced a... That's beautiful. A Villiers 9mm. Front-loaded? 2 or 3-barreled? Villiers and LaSalle was one of the original 14 Indo tribes of Revachol. Did you know? Artillery and ballistics. Before the revolution, of course. They belong to some Gottwalders now.
She phrases it as if it's a pity. She also phrases it as a transition out of you waving your gun around.
What else? It helps to sometimes hold inventory of the things you've achieved, you know. Of course, Detective. Oh? Of course, Detective.
This orange machine is... This orange machine is dead. This orange machine is dead still. It has ice squeaks beneath your Kavalzun multi-tool, but your fingers slip away from the tool, and it's already unplugged. There's not much. This orange machine is dead still. It...
This orange machine is dead. This orange machine is dead. Ice squeaks beneath, and it's already. This orange machine is dead still. Ice squeak, and it's already on. This orange machine is dead still. Ice squeaks, and it's already. This orange machine. This orange machine is dead. Ice squeaks beneath your, and it's all. This orange machine is dead still. Ice squeaks, and it's all. This orange machine is dead still. Ice groans and howls under the strain of your giant Kvalsund multi-tool until the lid cracks open. Darkness lies inside, but you can faintly make out an object, intricate and foreign, left there for a sub-zero beauty sleep, a filament memory with the words "off-site copy" written on its side. You gently lift the cube from its frosty bedding, careful not to damage.
We should take it back to Miss Lukanen killed as soon as possible. I'm not sure how well unused filaments tolerate room temperature.
The pearlescent paper adamantly resists being held open. It demands struggle at both ends. The print inside is just as taxing, due to its fine and curlicue font. The most attractive part is the image emblazoned across the top. Devious use of swish there. It's a font literally designed to win legal agreements by way of being almost unreadable through flamboyance. Inside an oval frame is a grey sketch of a curly-haired girl enthusiastically riding an industrial drill. It's churning up hard chunks of rocky ground, an underground kingdom of shimmering spillways. Silver stars melted down and filtered for their precious discharge. Each letter is shaped like a laugh line, being pulled in a million different directions. They're all grinning at you, pleased with practically being indecipherable. Your vision blurs into a haze of dark scribbles. It's like looking at a wrought iron fence through a greasy lens. Not a single recognizable symbol appears to you. A bold black mesh curves around the oval image at the top of the document. It almost looks as if it were penned with intention. Perhaps it was. You're starting to think it might actually say something. If it does, it remains hidden from you. All you see is a baffling enigma, a coiled nest of viper letters, if they even are letters. There must be some form of logic hidden away in there. The certificate threatens to coil back into itself.
Yes, what is it? Yes? Wait, a note from whom? Did it specify where they took the filament memory? Jawiza. Of course! Our project lead, Suliswov Jawiza. God, he was always so hell-bent on keeping the copy somewhere safe. And feature creep, and the Valley of the Heads. Like it would have made a difference. The offsite copy was perfectly safe when the data loss happened. That data loss was anomalous. And the heads... I won't even get into the heads. Millions of them. Go find that copy from that ice cream maker, will you? Thanks.
Valley of 1,000 Heads. You like the sound of that.
No. That's the production schedule. I don't need it. The right... Thanks. Looks like it's the one. Now I'm going to print it out to see what's left of it.
Wait. No. That's dangerous. She shouldn't do it.
I have a theory. Lintel was able to divine the location of the anomaly from this broken copy. I want to repeat their calculation, only this time with better equipment. Watch. What an intricate display of failure.
The paper starts filling out with ink, soaking it in a gleaming blackness. Not a single line of data stands out. It's the abyss staring back at you. Sona doesn't reply, her hands running over the printout. She's looking for something. For her morning star. Eyes scouring the millimeters.
Here. I found it. Hold on. Shh. Just give me a second. I'm almost...
I've never witnessed a programmer work before.
Done. I've got it. I found the location of the anomaly. I found the coordinates.
She's beaming. You can feel it in your heart.
Thank you. There. In the swallow. Think you can help me again? I need you to go move those water bolts for me. I need to double-check my calculation. Just walk over to the circle and follow my instructions. Move the third bolt 2 centimeters to the left, and the fourth bolt 5 centimeters to the right. This should do the trick. Thanks.
It's awfully silent again, as if someone turned off the entire world out. Measurements have been marked down around the bowls, each chalk-drawn line representing a centimeter on the floor. It's awfully silent again. Measurements have been marked down around the bowls, each chalk-drawn line representing a centimeter on the floor. It moves like a ghost without creating a... Some water spills out of the bowl, wetting the lead programmer sends you an encouraging thumbs up.
Yes, what is it? Great. Everything should be aligned now.
Miss Know-It-All is hesitating.
Yeah, nothing. Now the only thing left to do is to unmute the headphones. If we got the location right, we should then be able to hear whatever sound this anomaly makes. Honestly, I'm a little scared. I don't know. That's what I'm scared of. I don't know. It could be anything. I mean, what sound does the nothing make? How can you even listen to something that doesn't exist? What if silence is only what surrounds it, but the swallow itself is... Maybe I'm just tired. Yeah, you're right. Let's do it.
The lieutenant takes a step back, and then nothing happens. As Sona Lokanen-Kilda presses unmute on her keyboard, nothing but silence. She doesn't talk. Her eyes closed and brows knitted together in a state of deep focus.
Damn it! Yeah, nothing happened, let's move on.
Despite her fear, she was hoping for something extraordinary to take place.
No, my hypothesis was wrong. According to this, I should have heard something, if I got the coordinates right. Like I said, silence is only what surrounds it. But this is just another failure. Silence sounds like silence. That's all it is. You can try on the headphones. See if you can hear anything. But don't get your hopes up.
Silence is silence? You're sure there's more to it? This can't be it. You should have a listen.
Yes, what is it? Yes, what is it?
All you hear is your own breathing, heavy and hoarse from all the nights spent drinking. It's the breath of an old man, but there's something else. There has to be something big, something ghosts speak.
Well, did you hear anything? Yeah. No.
The lieutenant looks down at the floor, as if to say, you're wasting time. Maybe the speed freaks can help you with this. Go talk with Andre.
Hi again. So, yes? What's the deal? What kind of a hitch?
An audio shortfall, you say? Guess what? We got speakers with massive low end. There's a good chance it can do it.
We've got some serious range on this baby. It'll blast her shoes off. Believe? Yes. What?
He nods, enthused.
Goodbye, officer.
We're close. True. Hot? Yeah.
This young, or maybe,
The what? Yeah. Huh? I see you're here again. Hi again. So, how are things going? Yes? But do goodbye, officer.
Hello again.
Yes, what is it? Yes, what is it?
Still nothing. Sorna isn't even looking at you this time.
Yes, what is it?
Still nothing.
Yes, what is it?
Everything disappears. You are draped in silence like a drowning man staring into his puny little headspace. And then the pressure changes. It feels like flying on an aerostatic, or when your ears pop, or like a subtle difference in the atmosphere, a weather change hanging in the air. What if the sound you're looking for is too low for you to hear it?
A better sound system? Alright, but where would we get one?
Suddenly, a rhythmic beat permeates the walls, causing a small patch of decorative stucco.
They should really allocate some renovation funds to this place.
No. What they really should do is shut down the disco men for disturbing neighborhood peace. You mean the speed freaks? Of course, the speed freaks. They have a fantastic sound system. And you think they would help me? I guess I could live through a week or two of peaceful coexistence.
Brilliant negotiating there, detective. As always.
Sure. Let me know how it goes.
Hi again. Yes? What's the deal? We are grateful, Copman. You're an augury of a new era of Nordic dance music. That's fine. We can manage. And you haven't changed your mind about our little side business, have you? All right. It's going to take us a bit to move our stuff inside. A couple of hours, maybe. Come check back later. Let's get... Yeah, it's all set up, man. Can you already imagine 1,000 people in here? 10,000! Ecstatic vibrations, totally transcendent. And I've finished setting up the new compressor too. Now the only thing left to do is the name of the club. Will you do the honours, detective?
How about something simple? Like the club?
Too modern and too ironic. We don't want ironic, we want real. Real and true and beautiful. Like a morning after the rave.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't build a club and I wouldn't name it either.
An underground place with no name? Sounds like something the Crabman would say.
We're not going with anything the Crabman would say.
Why not? The Crabman has ideas, Estelle. Ideas from another level of consciousness.
I don't care. I don't like the Crabman and I don't like his ideas. His ideas are spooky.
I don't.
Good. We have too many opinions anyway.
The name. Everything I managed to come up with sounds just...
Andre's overthinking it.
Yes, you should do it, detective.
Noid's right. You've helped us so much. It's the right thing to do. Yakokata! Yakokata! The place to be!
Yeko Qatar, the zone of ecological catastrophe. That's too morbid, eh? Got anything else?
Hardcore! Hardcore to the mega! No, it has to be bigger than hardcore. Yes, it has to be even bigger than hardcore to the mega. It has to be bigger than the scene.
The amnesia.
Like the... I can't remember the name of the club, Amnesia.
Amnesia! It's not amnesia, guys. You have? Well, what's the name?
Like that DeLorean word for the world, you mean? Elysium.
But Disco Elysium? Isn't it wacky? Disco's kind of gone, isn't it? Forgotten.
The past is the future, but the future is dead. No, it's beautiful. Beautiful and brave, like we want it to be.
And short. And memorable.
It's settled then. Everyone welcome to Disco Elysium.
Andre breaks into frenzied dance-like motion to celebrate the name. Someone turns up the beat. You should go with the flow. Join in on the experience. It feels good. It feels right. But what is this? What is this thing that Andre is doing with his limbs?
I'm dancing!
That soft core gyrating is supposed to be dancing?
Yes, my man! It's to express my individual...
Is that a bald spot? It's hard to tell for sure with the fused together spikes, but it looks like he's balding.
Or because I'm balding, yes. I want to fuse the remains of my hair together before it leaves me. I want to show my hair. I don't give a fuck how old you think I am. I'm 20. Not 20. Of course it is. Otherwise, I'd just be another poor guy with no education and no money. General issue, man. Now I'm all that, and I have radical spikes. Maybe it was a bad idea. Anyway. Goodbye, officer.
Yes, what is it? Yes, what is it?
What? What did you say? I can't hear you! The music is too loud! Oh, the project! There's that guy! I need him to plug a 3.5 cable into the auxiliary input so that I can route the audio signal through the mixer into the speakers. He doesn't listen to me! He only ever seems to care about hardcore and Yekokata! A place to be, apparently. Thanks. Maybe you can get through his magic rhyme. Let me know how it goes.
We're close. True, hard, full, core. Hardcore. Hardcore, internally coherent. All core.
He furrows his brow as his very large head traces the sublime, invisible movement of the music.
Hardcore. Ah! Is it though? One mind, one spirit. There's no other world. There's no other land. We're close. True. Hardcore. Hardcore. Internally coherent. All core. All right. Yeah.
He furrows his...
Hardcore. Is it though? But is it? I mean, really?
Feels like you should reply with the very pinnacle of idiocy here, so that things get totally transcendent. But you haven't gotten there yet, so you don't know what to say.
Under the radar, over the top. We're close. True. Hardcore. Yeah.
This young, or maybe,
The one. Yeah.
he missed one A.
I'm the hard rhymer. We're close. True. Hardcore. Hardcore to the mega. Internally all core.
He furrows his...
Is it though? But is it?
Feels like you should reply with the very pinnacle of...
I am the mic enforcer. I am the We're close. True. Hard. Full. Core. It's hardcore. Skibberdeep. We're close. True. Hard. Full. It's hard. Skibber. We're close. True. Hard. Full. Hardcore. Hardcore to the internally coherent. Good morning, yeah. 1, 2, 3. Yekokata. The place to be. Yekokata is a hard...
An intricate system of irrigation networks pockmarking the earth. Intermittent seas of phosphorus mud, ripped tarpaulin fluttering in the wind. A pair of molten rubber boots also comes to mind. All in all, a
We're close. True. Hardcore. Internally all core. All right. Yeah.
He furrows his...
Hardcore. Ah. Is it though? But is it? I mean, really?
Feels like you should reply with the very pinnacle of idiocy here, so that things get totally transcendent. But you haven't gotten there yet, so you don't know what to say.
Hey, man, it's good to see you. He's a quiet man, mostly communicates through music, and by,
Interesting, sire. A bit like you, then. An MC.
Well, he's just,
The man smiles mysteriously, choosing to let the beat speak.
Goodbye, off. You got it.
With wonder in his sharp eyes.
Between you and me, I don't know if you've noticed this about me. I'm a little suspicious of authority, but you...
Yes, you really came through for the hardcore underground. How come?
Andre is busy cutting some slightly less lame, but still quite ungainly shapes on a cell, using her contact mic to listen to a tree underwater. The one with the large head is blasting the dance track on repeat, while the stained glass window behind him is rattling from the bass. Sire, the tent. 'Twas a security risk, and in here, sanctuary. 'Twas only noble of you.
Okay.
I don't believe you actually think you did it for all mankind. But whatever keeps you in high spirits is okay by him.
It's a miracle of carpentry. Dead bodies carved into total shapes. Now it can be something more. That's right. The first settlers built it, plus 6 more like it, on the coast alone on an uninhabited archipelago, forced to face themselves and
He means something paranatural. He must...
I would want to build a safe place for myself and my own as well. A cop who's into building critique. Okay then, this is folk DeLoreanism, lawmongerer. It's a subset of early DeLorean architecture. Art of core. Total. Everything between an ancient concrete cathedral and a glass cube is DeLoreanism. This is just an homespun version of it. Folksy stuff. Early mass production. They made thousands like this. Like that woman there. Vertical, thin, white. A false image of grandeur. The source of the system is up there. You're at the bottom. They really dug that power vertical. Like to show off large and intricate structures. Arches, spires. Put you down with them. They were really into painting everything white too. Virginal shit, you know. Marriage shit. Virtue and tyranny. Stands to reason it used to be white on the outside before the sea wind took all the paint off.
Year after year, flake after flake, whitewashed clean, then covered in green moss. It was probably white and gold with light red flower motifs. Part of you, assumed to be lost to nerve damage, knows this style to be Ubi DeLoreanism.
Good catch, art cop. The herdsmen of the Ubi Sun Islands came here on the first boats. Their flowery version of DeLoreanism.
The Ubi are known for their partiality to socialism and sheep. They come from an island called Ubi Suant, drifting in the Pale off the coast of Vespa. It's the only place in the world that has a question mark in its name. Things are not well there. It's an island of poverty and anthropogenetic collapse.
Dead bodies of perennial plants. Sigma functions have left this place. It's a good thing we came along. I saw some piglets suckling their dead mother. Have you heard this one, cop man? After a short while, they shuddered and went away. They had sensed that she could no longer see them and that she wasn't like them anymore. What they loved in their mother weren't her body, but whatever it was that made her body live. End of quote. This is an high-quality carcass. The power of anodic beats and hard bass is needed to reanimate it. A Sarai's man.
who lived a long time ago, an ancient hardcore brother. A 3,000-year-old tyrannical regime of history, built and maintained.
The way he says it, the force in False Core is invested with 20 kilotons of disgust.
I only said unity. One word. Figures of authority always misquote you. Andre doesn't care about the Ecclesiastes. He just wants the operation to run smoothly. And Egg is a demi-beast. You shouldn't listen to what people say. You should listen to what they are. But were you wrong? The founding party is okay with everything. Anodic dance music. Regular dance music wasn't hard enough. And I don't. Fuck her giving me the evil eye. No wonder. We have to get rid of it. Dismantle it. Can't dance with a giant mass murderer looking at ya. Not a good look for the...
Mellow, man, mellow! Mass murder on the floor!
There is. She is a party repellent and must be taken down before we can begin partying in here. Will do.
No, Noid! Stop twisting my melon, man! People are gonna love it! It'll be our thing! Plus it keeps the cold out!
I like this question, Cop Man. She did not live the life of a human. She lived like someone who's playing a game. The life of an operator. That's not the life that humans live. She was adored. Humans aren't. I don't know about you, but they hate me. And they do not think I'm innocent or some shit like that. Yes.
This speed freak does not quite understand the sudden escalation of emotion in that argument, but he agrees nonetheless.
She invented the beauty you're feeling. She and her glass cutters and iconographers. You set the standard, all right, then you meet it. It's effective like that, but it is also very soft of core. That so-called beauty of hers. You may be onto something, Copper Man. She's got those mass murdering hips. No one says Arno van Eyck is a mass murderer. The Anodic pioneer Rietveld is not a mass murderer. Likewise, no one says Jermaine Egghead or Andre are mass murderers. You can live entirely outside that suspicion. Billions of people go about not being guilty of mass murder. Just...
What a strange choice of words. Caustic. Overflowing with negativity. That can't be healthy. What's happening here? Why do you keep coming back to this window? But it isn't. And you shouldn't come back to this anymore. This should be the last time. Stop talking about that damn window, please.
Hard to say, Cop Man. I did get to talk to the Crab Man, though. Anyway, he's been giving me kind of a psychic. Dude's seen some crazy shit, but he's actually a lot like us. The man picks up on stuff, and he knows a lot about the church. I got a lot. Good thing you didn't squash him. The Crabman's been lurking here for a while. He's experienced things. Things that give off bad signs. As far as we can tell, the Ubies built this place not like a literal sarcophagus. I'm just being metaphorical. Encasement, confinement, of something they were afraid of. Something new and unheard of on the Isla. I think that's what the Crabman is experiencing when he climbs around upstairs. Like, this is some old world shit the Ubies had heard about. I thought the best way to deal with it was to build a church surrounding it to contain it. I don't know, and it's not something they properly understood either, what it does. But it's what this Sona person is looking for and trying to measure. It'll be fruitless though. She won't be able to measure it. People like that always want to measure everything. All those things they really can't. Seems to be the trend around here, doesn't it? You can't measure shit like this. It's not like substance. Like a concentric ring spreading out, the struggling villages, and that is what caused the communards to fail in defending the beachhead. Yeah, a lot of failure has gone down around here. I don't know, maybe you can figure things out, Copman. I think they're hardcore. They're just clothes. It's just a style, you know, normal hard style. Suspicious people are esoteric people. We don't go around spilling everything to... It took us setting out for this whole enterprise to get our signs synced. It's short for paranoid. A reasonable question. Say I get hurt. I want to make sure it never happens again. It'd be easier to list stuff I'm not suspicious of. I'm not suspicious of sound and colour, mechanics and...
This is a good, dangerous line of questioning. You should prod him on.
I don't have a top 10 list of things I'm most suspicious of, but if I had one, the left-right complex would be number 1. Number 2 would be their sole accomplishment, the pig-wheat paradigm.
Something is off here. You feel like it should be the other way around.
No, politics is an inert complex of daily corruption and inane think pieces. The real paradigm is economic, and it concerns pig and wheat. This is where the innovation happens. It's only a theory, but I suspect they're breeding a pig-wheat hybrid. Probably in Grad. Mental illness is a term the powers use to homogenise people. I think I don't reach mental illness. I am merely politically ill, a suspicious element. I prefer not to. Both ask the wrong questions. Any spark of light from either one is accidental. Their combined movement's only concern is producing enough pig and wheat for everyone. The end goal of humanity. The original mistake was assuming that words have more being than bodies. That's what led us astray, far from our true lives. But
whatever this true life is, you feel it's the real centerpiece of this mythology.
It's our only shit. We should make better use of not being animals. or cereal grain ourselves. Correct.
He can't help but doubt your sincerity in this matter. There is no other way. You are a police officer.
Precisely. The status quo doesn't need to be loved.
His eyes flicker.
Dead body, spirit entered. What sure? The life is true if it's free from fear, an internal division among oneself. In others, mankind has seeds of greatness in it. A germ beats and bright lights to shatter falsehoods. Nerve impulses for the collective body. We are very much alike in basic structure.
Just like that. The speed freak is right in your face. His eyes burning. His comrades look on. The young man is dead serious about this. Rejection of the right-left axis. Emphasis on unity. Appreciation of some primordial mode of being. What does that remind you of?
Nationalism, militarism, racism, and emphasis on a leader character are totally absent in hardcore.
He picks up a wrench and scratches his head with it, unaroused by fascism.
Many non-Occidental cultures share a beat at their art. Thus, they are closer to true, hardcore life. There's just never been enough of them, and they had to rely on some extremely basic percussion. Utmost dedication, thoughts from the spinal cord, is a potent superlative as well.
The term also signifies certain varieties of pornography that depict penetration, just so you know.
Egghead usually has a better concept of the hardcore. He just really likes saying hardcore.
Hardcore!
That's a pretty hardcore coincidence, don't you think?
Yeah!
Oh yeah, sure thing.
Dedicated, hyperactive, unified. You will have to add something of your own to understand this list of loosely formed qualities called hardcore. You need your own entry. Make it. If you fear it, let it happen. Keep on dancing till the world ends.